welcome to Blackfeather Guild. Before we go in and say hi to the cast and get started with the show, I wanted to talk very briefly about viewer actions and a little bit about sponsors. So first off, there's a number of ways that you can actually actively participate in the show through viewer actions. One of the easiest ways to do so is through retweeting the game tweet. You should see that somewhere in chat if it's not in there already. But you just click on that link and hit retweet, and for every 5 retweets that we get on that, it will add a bonus to the cast pool and the game master pool. Now, in most cases, that's going to be an extra d6 that they can add on to any roll. Basically, a great way to use that is if a player is almost meeting a DC, but they're just not quite there, they can grab one of those d6s from the cast pool, roll that, and then add that to their roll. Basically, is how that works. Same with the GM. So that's one of the easiest ways that you can participate that way. Another way is through guild coins. That's our Twitch channel points. If you look at the rainbow colored icon, it should have the Blackfeather Guild crest on it. It should be right below your Twitch chat box. If you click on that, it'll show you all the different things that you can get with those. The biggest one being plot points. Now, plot points, you can see an example right over here. They all work pretty much the same way. It's just a matter of how big of an impact they have. So for the example, when we've got 2 plot points, the player of your choice gets something moderately helpful or unhelpful. Enter any suggestions for the GM into chat, or you can have the GM come up with something entirely on their own. So just choose if you want it to be helpful or unhelpful to the party, and that's kind of how you can use them. You can throw in your own suggestions as well. How those work: 1 plot point is something trivially helpful or unhelpful. 2 is moderately, 3 is very, and 4 is very to the entire party. So if you want to do something to help the entire party or really throw a monkey wrench in their plans, 4 plot points will do that. So that's guild coins. And then finally, we've got donations. So if you want to help out with keeping the lights on in the place, so to speak, there's a number of ways that you can financially contribute. One of those being coffee.com/Raven or raven.rocks. You can see both of those examples down there at the bottom. Those are the addresses to do direct donations. You can also do Twitch subscriptions or bits. Those work the same way. And then finally, Patreon. We've got a Patreon, which you should see in chat here any second if it's not there already. And our Bard tier patrons and higher get credits towards viewer actions every month that they can use on any show that they would like. You just have to let us know in chat how you want to spend those, and then we'll hand those out. So some very cool stuff. Before we hop over to see the cast, one last thing to mention is a couple things on this chart here. We've already covered the D6 and the plot points, but the triple crits, what that means is you can gift auto critical successes. And you can, it's triple because you get 3. You can divvy those out however you'd like. You can do 2 to the cast, 1 to the game master, all of them to the game master, however you want to do it. So they work much like the D6s. The cast members just grab that when they're available and they really need them and use them. So it's pretty cool. And then finally, the last one, introduce an ally or enemy NPC. Just give us a brief description of what you want this character to look like, kind of their character concept and a name, and let us know if you want it to be an enemy or an ally to the party, and the GM will basically take that and run with it. So really cool ways that you can participate. Lastly, I just want to take a quick moment to mention our sponsors. If you look at the logos down below, that's who's sponsoring this episode, and we'll talk a little bit about that before we introduce everybody as well on the next scene. So yeah, check all this stuff out, and thank them for supporting us, and thank you for being here and watching. Let's go say hi to the cast. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Oh, do a little bit of musical cameras here in a second, but welcome to the next episode of Hunters of Calamity 2. I'm very excited about this because there's still a mushroom cloud on the horizon made of exploded Hoffy, which is kind of like instant coffee, but a cross between instant coffee and like speed. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens today. Also excited to welcome back Zan. We've got Nikki today as well. It's going to be great. So I'm going to move the cameras around. They got a little mixed up during the intro. But we're going to introduce everybody and let them talk a little bit about their character. Starting with Zan, actually. You are in the right spot, so we'll have you start.
Wild. Oh man, I haven't done this in so long and I'm right back on the fire. Yeah, I'm Zan. I'm a professional DM and content creator for 5e World of Darkness, powered by the Apocalypse, and a whole bunch of other games out there. Yeah, if you need to get a hold of me, the best way that you can do that is probably on Twitter or on my website, insanitygaming.com. Oh yeah, and the Twitter thing is insanityttrpg. And yeah, I'm playing Jeb, who apparently has gone through some stuff in the last month or two since I've been gone, traveling around the world. So we're gonna see where this goes.
All right. Next we've got. I'm trying to get to the right box. So let's start with. Let's hop over to Pat. Tell us a little bit about Wesley and yourself.
Yeah, I'm Pat. I play games online on channels like this lovely one and occasionally on my own. I'm playing Wesley. Wesley is the leader of a very normal church and not a cult. And he's going through some stuff, but he's gonna be fine now that he's got his new magic rocks that make everything better. Yeah, and it's seizing control of the church back from a sacrilegious robot that rewrote all of our holy texts.
Awesome. Fantastic. And then I think I've got all the cameras in the right spots. Let's hop on down to Alex. Tell us a little bit about Al and yourself. It might still be muted there. All right. They might be AFK. Let's hop over to IC Historian. Tell us a little bit about Lula May and yourself.
Hi, friends. I am a historian. I play games on this channel and anyone else with lax security protocols. I am IC Historian anywhere that I feel like being found on the internet. And I'm playing Lula May Jessup, a totally legit lemonade magnate, tycoon, if you will, who is also 100% not a gray market weapon modification dealer. Just clarification, that is not what she is.
Absolutely.
There we go.
All right, and then we lost Alex. All right, they'll be back soon, I'm sure. Nikki, could you tell us a little bit about MJ? You also might be muted. Yeah, it looks like you're still muted. Oh, we can come back. That just leaves me, and then we'll get the intro from Nikki and Alex as soon as we get that sorted out. But for me, I am the creative director for The Raven Evermore. My name's Raven. I am the game master for this game. I do all sorts of stuff from running games, streaming. I've designed the system that this game runs off of, which is Fundamental RPG. I do art, like the overlay and the backdrop that you see here, a whole bunch of different stuff. You can find out more about all of that at my link tree, which is right there in chat. That's got links to all my social profiles, Patreon, Coffee, my portfolio, the whole thing. And I will give a quick recap of what happened last week. And a little bit of the events leading up to last week as well. As Zan might remember last, being in the Dark Liridium cave, having that blowing up and crashing in on them and everything, everybody did manage to make it out with pockets full of that stuff, and Wesley teleported everybody out of there because the Jeep got totaled, as I recall, and they didn't have any transportation. It didn't quite go according to plan, though, and everybody got scattered around the area at different times. So they didn't all reappear at the same time. We had MJ showing up just outside the lemonade shop, actually in a cemetery that was across the street from it. MJ got the lemonade truck from Lula May's place of business and started driving it back towards the compound. Al ended up at her sister's home, but of course Al can't remember her sister, so that was sad. But she made her way back on foot, adopted a dire dog, and met up with MJ along the way. Amanda got teleported into the middle of a minefield where she was looking for Maggie, who was there but wasn't quite ready to teach her some of the things that she was wanting to learn. There were some explosions, some large damage rolls and things, but it all worked out in the end. And then Lula May ended up in the lap of Tim Rackett, who was driving a Jeep on his way to a board meeting. And that resulted in it's not all of the top heads of the company for Danco, but some important people, along with Tim, happened to get exploded because Lula May might have allegedly, possibly spiked Tim's drink with gasoline and Dark Liridium. There was a hint last week that Tim was not dead and may have in fact found Lula May's lemonade truck and was coming after everybody. I think that catches us up on pretty much everybody except for Wesley, who was the last to show and teleported back into the compound and found out all of the Teds had gone on strike because they were out of Hoffy because Sleep Saya had put it all into the water, and so that caused them to take long showers and use up all of the water for the compound, and it was all Hoffy, so they're running around like Sonic the Hedgehog. Long story short, they ended up going to raid the Hoffy factory, which is how we ended up with the mushroom cloud that I mentioned before. One of the Teds tried to put like a silo full of Hoffy into the furnace just to see what would happen, and it blew the whole thing up. But most of the Teds were already on a stolen semi at that point, so only the Ted that tried to start the little mixture, that was the only casualty. And they made it back. So everybody is back in the compound except for Jeb, who we still don't know where they ended up. But we're going to find out today. And with that, I think we've got everybody back. So, Alex, could you tell us a little bit about Al and yourself?
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a digital artist. You can find me around usually most commonly now on my own channel where I stream digital art that I do with a mouse, and apparently people find this fascinating. Yeah, so I'm playing Al. She's a robot that thinks that she was human at one point, and maybe has some issues. Maybe has some damage to programming, and yeah, she just does not give much of a shit about anybody else or their problems. Although that's a lie because she does kind of give a shit about other people's problems. I mean, why else would she help Sleep Saya?
That's fair. All right. And last but not least, Nikki, tell us a little bit about MJ.
MJ is she drives the car when they have a car that's not exploded.
That's true. MJ's kept the car alive the longest out of anybody on this entire series.
And she's 100% completely honest, which is a lie because she lies all the time about everything. Yeah, so that's MJ.
That's fair. MJ's fantastic. Absolutely delightful character. All right, so I think we're good to jump into the action and all that. So let's see. We're gonna figure out where Jeb is in a moment. So let's start with the compound. Lula May and I think it was Wesley saved the Ted who was literally flying through the air from the warehouse, actually beating the semi truck to the compound. Um,
That was a miracle that we performed.
yeah, and it is being touted as such. Um, he's not great. He's got a lot of
No.
broken bones, but he's alive, which is honestly a miracle. Um, so everybody is very happy. It's a very different situation than what you walked into, Wesley. They're no longer striking. They're all excited, and you are being recognized as the, of course, rightful leader of this quote unquote church, um, because you have performed a miracle. What would you like to do with this situation?
Um, so Lula May, I've been thinking, do we keep riding this wave to continue getting the cult back in order, or do we just, while the getting is still good with them, do we just cash in on their momentary usefulness to get to the next vault? Because they're gonna run out of drugs again at some point.
Now, that sure is a quandary. I'm going to be real honest with you. I have a feeling that in terms of long term, our better bet is to make way for that vault because it's one thing, right, to be the organization responsible for finding one vault, but it is another thing entirely to be the organization responsible for finding all the known vaults.
And I like the what I like about this business model is instead of staying here and trying to get things, slowly to be more efficient and doing the hard work, we're essentially going the route of getting all the lottery tickets until we just get that one big score that fixes everything. And that's what I love about this plan.
If that is the way that you want to think about it, that's fine. So another thing is I might have gotten myself a bit of a clingy admirer with a shall we say loose understanding of social emotional boundaries that may or may not, depending on provenance and the will of the great bare-shouldered one, might perhaps come back to bite me on my perfectly toned behind. So, it would also, in this particular instance, behoove me as well to amass perhaps some more of those boom boom rocks on our side.
Does that
LeMay's just gonna take a sip of her coffee, like not really looking like.
no, just to clarify this hypothetical person, would they be riding around in a lemonade truck? Is there any possibility of that? Because I've been hearing one on the wind, and part of me was wondering if that was just, rock talk up in the head, because there's always some of that. But that may be actually coming this direction sooner than later.
Well, normally, Wes, I would be more than flattered that a man of your stature were psychologically tortured by the memory of my economic success, but I have the inkling that you may be correct. Now, here's the thing, right? At least I can say that we're going to be gone by the time probably Tim gets here. So we may want to make hay while the sun shines.
Oh, it's that asshole specifically. Okay. Yeah. So I would say we should probably wrap up whatever research and building shit we had going on. And then, when the Teds have the bloodlust going and are instill the glow, the post raid glow is probably the easiest time to convince them to let's all go off and raid some other shit.
Yeah.
So we could take this army with us to the next vault.
I think it's great. I also, I learned in the night after you, finally calmed down after all that raven that you do before you go to sleep, which might be something, I don't want to get too off track. I want to talk to somebody about that. I don't want to pry or overstep. I'm just saying it as a friend. But I found that if you drink like a little bit of the coffee and like a lot of water and kind of run in place for a bit, it can actually fuel some real brilliant research. And like she sort of like shoves some like papers and stuff aside, and you see all of the items that she has made, and they look like, aside from all of the junk, they look like pristine. Like it's really her sort of like best handiwork, and everything has like this like very fancy calligraphy on the side, and like very like like a Southern ladies lemonade shop, but on like a sniper rifle or a multi-tool or a shotgun.
Is it just the initials? Like you know what I mean? The Lily Pulitzer initial thing.
It actually
the monograms.
It says on it does say, LM, but LMJ, but it also says in the corner, it has a little tagline that says, "This is Lula Made." And you can tell that she has not slept in like 2 days. I mean, she's looking all right, but she has that look of like a senior in college whose capstone was due at some point, but like their understanding of the space-time continuum is a little bit in flux. And she's sipping on more coffee.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of talking to someone, I've definitely I have recently started seeing, I guess, what you might call two therapists, and they tend to have differing opinions on most things, which I think tends to balance out. But yeah, I think before we run out of this coffee is probably the best time to roll everybody going.
Now, Wes, I do approve and I am proud of you for seeking counsel. I will just ask, can anybody else see those two kind of compatriots that you developed? Because I mean, like I said, I don't want to overstep my boundaries, but as friends, we've got to have these open and honest conversations. It's how we remove the stigma of treating our internal health the way we would our external health. But I'm just throwing that out there, okay? She takes like another sip of coffee, and you see like the nerve in an eyebrow start to twitch just a little tiny bit.
Yeah, I mean, no, I wouldn't say that you can see them now. Others they've been heard by other people in the past, and one of them was definitely once alive as a person.
Good. I mean, when you started, I had a
Mhm.
lot of different ideas as to what I was going to hear in my head. And I'll
I know
say
that.
what you said was actually not the worst thing on the list. So, we're just going to call it progress.
I think at that point, the ghost of Ted is gonna be like, "Wait, is she saying we're not real?" And Browdy's gonna reply, "I think that's what she's saying. That's pretty rude." That's just going on that conversation while Lulin is talking to you, Wesley.
I imagine I this is just personal flavor, but I also imagine Brownie has a little cup of coffee that he's drinking.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. A little walnut eyebrow twitching as well.
Well, shit, yeah. Let's get while the getting's good and let's get them in motion before they forget how to raid things again. Because apparently that's a problem we have to deal with.
Let's do that.
We'll leave a cursory group to deal with, I guess, shooting what's his face when he shows up in your truck.
All right. I think that's smart.
Okay. Pause there. We'll quick hop over to Amanda, who was, it sounds like, working through the night on a building something, right?
Yeah, just like after kind of like heard the melody in the wind, gave it like a sinister idea. Just essentially turned the entire junkyard into a giant mech after upgrading their own yo-yo.
Okay. Yeah, give me a mechanical engineering roll. See how you did on the mech.
Okay. And since this is including the magic stones, you want magic as well?
Nope, just mechanical engineering for this. 21. Would you like to add a d6 to that?
Yes.
Okay. Where is my counter? 25. Perfect. So with a 25, it is absolutely successful. You're able to make a mech. It basically works just for transportation, but it's got a good platform for upgrades and things like that you can later work on. And yeah, it's can look whatever you want it to look like, but it's made from all sorts of random materials found in the junkyard around this place.
It looks kind of more like the skeleton of a transformer. I'd say more on to the fact of kind of like you'd have your G1 series of the Transformers, or where like when you take out a lot of the functionality to it, they have this like base skeleton. And if like, because I really want to incorporate what less of the gemstones, would you be okay with an engineering magic roll as well? So at least it has something equivalent to like some guns on it, so that it's not traveling alone without any weapons.
I'm gonna say no on weapons for now, just because we already got the upgrade to your yo-yo.
Fair.
I do
I'm just
have
trying to go for the magic, so that way I can incorporate
do-
gemstones and not have to worry about it ever again.
I do have an interesting idea for you, though. Do give me a magic engineering roll. 22, that's good enough. So I will say that it is powered on one of these dark fluoridium crystals, and if you want to try to do like a magic engineering roll, you can try to overcharge it to like run faster or jump higher, just with the risk that if you roll in that one, it could explode.
Yes.
Okay. With that, let's also hop over to Al. I am drawing a blank. I can't remember if you got all the way back after dropping off Sleeve Saya or not.
I did, but she doesn't have to be. If you want to do something on her way back, feel free to change that up.
No, I just couldn't remember where she was. What are you
She
doing
made it back
at this point?
Well, her and Lula May had that whole talk and stuff where she told Lula May that she dealt with Sleep Saya.
Oh,
and they had that interesting talk about how Lula May is going to be her wingman for finding people who aren't robosexuals to date her.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember all of that now. Okay, cool. So now that all that's happened and the Teds have gotten back and everything, what is Al doing while people are plotting and scheming?
She's taking care of her dog.
Awesome.
She's bonding with her puppy. Just bonded with her puppy.
Okay, cool.
Whose name is Molasses.
My Google Home just started talking to me because I think it thought I was talking to it. So.
No. She's bonding with Molasses.
Okay, that makes sense. Molasses is pretty sticky. Both the dog and the substance. Cool. That's totally fine. That'll probably take a little bit as well. So let's hop over to MJ. So a lot kind of happened after getting back to the compound. What do you think MJ's been doing through all of this?
I have no idea. Do they have a vehicle right now?
As of this moment, there is a semi-truck that has been procured from the Hoffy warehouse right before it blew up under mysterious circumstances.
Maybe she's been working on it.
Okay, and Lula May did steal a Jeep from Tim, which is similar to the first Jeep, the one that got destroyed.
Oh. Well, she would have worked on that at the compound, and if they have the truck now, are they both with them, like the Jeep and the truck?
Yeah, at this point, both would be there at the compound.
Okay. She's just been working on them, I guess, making sure they're drivable.
Okay. Yeah, you. So Tim's Jeep is in impeccable shape. It's been well maintained and tuned, and there's not a whole lot to do maintenance-wise on it. But you are able to redecorate it if you would like, so it's no longer, a Danco branded Jeep.
Yeah, it's not Danco anymore. What is she decorated like? Well, she's not going to decorate to look like the lemonade truck or car again. This is a different car.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's okay. We can come back to that. But okay, that would probably take a little while to do maintenance on both cars and then redecorate the Jeep. Which brings
they're going to match.
Oh, nice. Okay. I can tell you the semi is currently branded like Hoffy. So I don't have a link handy. But the Hoffy advert that I made, which Michael's got it, currently has that branding on it.
What if she cuts out a lemon and sticks it on the Hoffy mug?
I love it. Okay. Yeah, who knows? A few weeks down the line, if somebody from Hoffy sees it, they may have new lemon flavored
Hot
Hoffy.
lemonade is actually quite delicious.
Yeah.
See? So there's a hot...
I see your face. With a little whiskey in it, it's great.
Actually, what's even tastier? You know what's even tastier though? Hot lemon lime Gatorade.
Try that.
Oh, why you gotta bring hot takes like that?
Because
not so
it's
sure about that
delicious
one.
when you're sick.
Important clarification here. Hot or room temperature?
Specifically hot, like as in you brought it to a boil like it is a tea.
You know, boss. There are many places where I will go with you, but I think
You
this.
get weird when you can't have solid foods for 3 months.
I mean, that's true. You
That's
do
fair.
get very open-minded. I will say that.
Ooh, something I remember that Nikki, you said earlier, like you wanted to have like your own business or place that you were trying to have your character go towards eventually.
Yeah.
We have that design. Maybe incorporate that in as well to both of them.
Okay, I didn't figure out where that place was. um, it could be.
No worries. I do have a question for Zan. So with Jeb, after having gone through the ordeal of almost getting crushed by the cave collapsing and watching everybody else go through this weird old alien structure, find out that Dark Luridium was the cause of the downfall of this ancient civilization, the ones that built the vaults, and that basically magic users are supposed to never use it, which of course was a rule that got thrown right out the window by everybody. You've experienced all this. You see Wesley use it to teleport everybody away. What's the last thought in Jeb's mind before the teleport happens?
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have drank that.
Okay. In that case, I think Jeb will be teleported. Let's have you. We're gonna rewind a little bit here, and say that probably around the same time that Wesley is getting teleported into the compound, you find yourself in a giant silo full of somewhat coffee-smelling powder. And it is dark.
And I'm gonna stay really still for a minute and listen to see if I hear anything.
Okay, give me a hearing check.
Okay. Let's see. What is it hearing? Hearing. 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 There we go. That is a not great. 18.
18. Okay. So yeah, you don't hear a ton, but you are able to pick up what sounds like some sort of factory noise, like some machinery whirring a little bit, and you're able to hear. It sounds like maybe some factory workers having a conversation. You can't really make out what they're talking about exactly, but you pick up a few like work jargon words that kind of places it as a factory of some sort.
Okay. Anything sounding familiar other than just the jargon? Like, does this sound like a product I'm familiar with?
Yeah, absolutely. As you are able to get your bearings and everything, you might be able to tell, like, I mean, this smells a lot like coffee, and it's everywhere, and you could probably put two and two together and figure out you're in some sort of storage container for, like, bulk coffee.
I'm going to reach down and am I like sitting on sacks of coffee, or is there just like loose beans?
It's basically like a giant Tupperware container full of instant coffee powder.
Oh, this is gonna be brutal. I'm gonna lick my finger, stick it into the coffee powder, and lick it, and stick it back into the coffee powder, and lick it again.
How long do you do this?
While I'm thinking, so probably a little longer than necessary.
Okay.
So at least probably 15 minutes. I feel like after that, probably to the point of just like rubbing it on his gums, trying to get that good Hoffy twitch. And mhm.
If you've ever seen the episode of Futurama where Fry drinks like 300 cups of coffee, and by the end he's moving around like the Flash.
Raven, that's me on any given Tuesday.
Fair. But yeah, it's not quite like the Flash. You're not. That's funny. It's not superhuman speed or anything like that, but it definitely feels like the world has slowed down around you. Um,
And it's still
normal,
dark.
Yeah, it's still dark. Your heartbeat has become less of a heartbeat and more of just like a constant whir of, kind of like how an engine purrs, rather than sounding like pistons going off at, a set frequency. That's kind of what you're feeling like. You're vibrating quite a bit. You definitely feel a little bit stronger and a little bit more aware of your surroundings. And
Do I feel like I should work on my manuscript?
well, it's up to you, I suppose. If you're comfortable here, you could. But if you're wanting to get out, then you probably realize this probably has like a lid on top. There's probably like a way that the Hoffy gets put in, probably at the top. Or you could try to just eat your way down to the exit spout. One seems more logical, the other seems more hazardous to your health.
We're gonna go with the less hazardous of the health one.
Okay, that would be the lid. So, as you dig through this pile of powder, you eventually see a little bit of light, and it's like a little hatch. You're able to throw it open, and you can see that you're inside a factory, and there are people walking around and milling about. No pun intended, and they don't see either. They don't notice you, or they just don't care.
I think. Are there any like obvious exits?
Yeah, you can see there's like an area where there's a bunch of semi truck bays where they back the semis up to get loaded up. All the doors are closed, but there are doors, and you can tell those are exits. Off to the other side of the building, you can see it seems to lead towards like some offices and that sort of thing. And then behind you is sort of a continuation of what you're in. Just these big giant containers that seem to be storing all of this powder.
Huh. Okay. And like I can actively see people moving around on the floor.
Yeah, there's not a ton of people working, but you'll see a couple people walking here, a couple other people, walking over to another part. None of them seem to be really all that productive. Maybe it's like the night shift or something. You're not quite sure because there's no windows that you can see. But yeah, people are just sort of wandering around, going about their jobs very slowly.
Okay, cool. I am going to concentrate on finding a way out of here, while still, but it's really difficult with like all of the loud life that is around me and the fact that there are all these numbers and stuff, and I've had all this instant coffee and I've probably not had enough water, and so I'm pretty dehydrated, and like my stomach is hurting, and man, this is awful. I really don't want to be here. I would really just kill to be in a bathroom right now. And I'm gonna try to cast a spell.
Okay, awesome. Roll magic engineering.
Magic engineering. 26.
26. Nice. Uh, you suddenly find yourself inside the bathroom of this facility. You're in not the workers' bathroom, but it seems to be like a private one. Um, you're just able to magically sense that you haven't gone that far, so you know you're still in the building, but it is a bathroom. It is a single person bathroom, but it looks quite nice, with sort of a fancy sink with one of the more like modern designed faucets and handles, and it's got like the vanity lights instead of the big fluorescent light over the top. Um,
Mhm.
and the toilet, which on which you're currently sitting, has a heated seat.
It's pretty nice. I'm gonna I guess we'll fade to black for a second and let Jeb take care of Jeb, and then once all that's done, yeah, I'm gonna, like look at myself in the mirror. Everything look okay?
Yeah. Um, you look pretty much fine. Um, the only thing that you notice that's a little bit different, you seem to have like this little purple tattoo on your right shoulder that you didn't remember getting. It's not unheard of for random tattoos to show up on people where you're from,
Oh,
but
my mom's gonna be so disappointed.
but you're pretty sure that that wasn't there before you transported with Wesley.
Uh, uh, okay. I'm gonna drink a lot of water from the sink before I do anything, and then I'm going to try to like uh, make my way to the truck, like exit kind of place.
Okay. As you drink a bunch of the water, the world seems to come back up to normal speed a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, feel a little bit more balanced. Um, and as you leave the bathroom, you can see you're in a fancy office, which is unoccupied. It's got like a bookshelf. It's got the pat yourself on the back wall,
Mhm.
with awards and degrees and framed certificates and things like that. A mahogany desk with a laptop still sitting on it, and then an exit door that goes out into what you assume is a hallway. Mahogany.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna look in the desk.
Okay. As you look through the desk, you see that it belongs to someone named George Jameson. There is a bunch of reports and spreadsheets and things like that, and you're able to figure out that this is the general manager for this particular Hoffy warehouse. They're in charge of logistics and shipping. It's basically like a big distribution center for all this Hoffy. It gets transported here from wherever they manufacture it, and then from here it goes out to stores and places like that. There's nothing really immediately useful in here, unless you want to do like some corporate espionage. But aside from that, there's a stapler. There's a paperweight, which is like one of those glass ones that's supposed to look like a building of some kind. Maybe it says like "World's Best Boss" on it or something like that. And that's pretty much it. That's all you really see that's of use aside from the laptop. Yes,
Yeah.
and red. It's red. It's a red stapler.
It's not a swing line by any chance, is it?
No, because that of course would be, trademarked. So it's a sling line.
I see. Okay. Um, okay. So I'm going to realize this as is nothing, and go back out the door, see what I can find. So, like go through the hallway.
Yeah. As you go through the hallway, you can see there's a couple more offices here. One of them says assistant manager. There's probably one that's like foreman or something like that. But all the offices are dark. It does seem to be the night shift. You can finally see some windows that look outside, and it is getting dark. You also hear.
Raven, I do have to ask.
Yeah.
I hate to cut you off. While I was looking through any of the rooms, did I see anyone's like suit jacket or any clothes that they like a spare change of clothes they keep at the office or anything like that?
Sure, we'll say that maybe George Jameson has a spare suit that he keeps in there.
Well, I do have calling card, so I'm gonna rip those sleeves off.
Nice.
And before continuing down like I was. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. As you start looking around, you're trying to find the exits and figure out what's going on. You hear something in the distance, which sounds like if Jeb has watched any old like battle movies, like from when they still used swords and bows and arrows and things like that. That sort of battle cry of just a bunch of people yelling as they're running. That sound sort of keeps getting a little bit closer. It sounds odd for the space that you're in. And it's a little hard to place, but it's getting closer.
There's no I don't see like a dust cloud or anything coming up.
Roll sight. See if you
Okay.
see that. It is getting dark.
Oh no. Bad things happen at night. Sight. Not ideal. 13.
13? Nah, you don't see a dust cloud or anything like that. Just the sound that's getting louder and louder and louder. Starting to be able to make out individual voices now as it's getting closer.
Okay, I'm gonna check my pockets. Do I still have any like Hoffy grounds or anything in there?
Yeah, you've got whatever inventory you had before, you still have with you, including any crystals if you pick those up. And you probably do have lots of this Hoffy powder in your pockets because you were in a container of it. It's probably like sand, it gets everywhere.
Mom always said drugs were bad, but coffee's okay because it's not a drug. It just makes you happy and awake. So, I shouldn't drink or do drugs right now, but I could have a little bit more coffee. That would be fine. Yeah, okay, we're just gonna have a little bit of coffee, and okay, we'll be okay. Slowly getting more and more agitated.
Yeah. Okay. About that time, somebody from the warehouse section does poke their head in, and they look at you and go, "Hey, you, I don't recognize you. You must be new, but do you hear that?"
I scream because this has taken me by surprise, and I'm gonna try to cast some magic to run real fast for as long as I'm screaming.
Okay, go ahead. Gotta go fast spell, yep.
22.
22. Good enough, yeah. You start running really, really fast. Kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog. As you're screaming and you startle this guy, he sort of jumps back and slips and falls on his butt. And you're able to just speed right past him, assuming you're running in that direction.
I am running away from him.
Okay. Same thing still happens. He still falls on his butt, but running the opposite direction, you're able to run right out the front door to this office if you'd like, out into the outside.
Yep.
As you are running off in that direction, you see what's making that noise. It's become deafening now, and it is most of your friends from the compound, all the Teds, running a lot like you are, just ridiculously fast, and they are battle cry charging towards this warehouse.
Okay. I think I have momentum now, and I don't think I can stop, and I don't want to run into them headlong, so I'm just going to cut a sharp right angle and keep running. Just
okay.
the whole way.
You eventually hit the road, and you're familiar enough with the area that you know if you follow this road, it will take you back home.
Okay. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, I hated that. Okay. Oh, I thought I was done with gym class. Oh, I'm gonna throw up. Okay, I guess we'll just left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, as Jeb walks down the road towards the compound.
All right. You're probably walking for about an hour before you hear just the most ear-splitting, deafening sonic boom sound. And you're able to turn around, and you see this giant mushroom cloud that's brown, because it's full of coffee, going up from where that warehouse was. And you can see that there is a semi-truck speeding towards you, with a lot of your friends like hanging off the side and sticking their head out the windows and cheering. And you do notice one of the other Teds literally flying overhead, arms and legs flailing, as they go shooting past like a rocket way up in the air.
Okay, this seems fine. We're going to the same place. Maybe they have coffee.
All right. Do you want to try to flag them down to pick you up?
Yeah.
Okay. They are able to spot you, and they don't so much pull over as they just slow down. And one of the Teds reaches their arm out from the back of the trailer, and it's just like, grab a head.
Oh, did they do that terrible thing where every time I reach out my hand, they speed up a little bit?
No.
So awful. Oh, it's good to know they're better people than I am.
The idea is they're just gonna grab your arm and like yank you into the back of the truck while it's moving.
Yeah, that works.
All right, I'm not gonna make you roll for that, so it just happens. And yeah, after a while, you end up back with the rest of the group, and everybody's celebrating. And I think that brings Jeb up to the current timeline. So, now that all of those things have happened, Wesley and Lula May, you were talking about a plan. What was your plan?
I mean, plan sounds a little generous for what we come up with usually. This plan was
idea?
To essentially point the mob of Teds still fresh from battle and jacked up on Hoffy in the direction of the nearest potential vault and just roll out there before they come down from both the Blood High and Hoffy High.
Okay. It is roughly nighttime now. Are you going to go immediately, or you wait for morning?
I figured people probably had some research and shit they were doing, like any little projects we'd wrap up overnight, right? Like everyone's been building shit and doing cool things, besides me, who's been watching and waiting for cool things to be built that people might want to share.
At that moment, I think it would probably be pretty funny if Amanda just comes out with a mech, just had leaped out of the junkyard right in that where everyone else is going. So, what's the plan with a giant mech?
Yep.
You want to tackle that one? You.
Amanda, it appears as though you have been quite industrious. This is impressive. And you can tell, like, Lula May is, like, as it gets later and later, she's getting a little bit more, like, distracted and, like, not twitchy, like, Hoffy twitchy, like, nervous. And she's going to be like, Amanda, I always knew you had a technical prowess that we just had to nurture and wait for it, to really blossom. And, I am just going to get some last things together before we head out first thing in the morning. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Though it was more of just a matter of putting sadness and try to work that way out.
Darling, whatever you need to do, I think that's just great. Yes, it's just fine. It is just fine.
So, you'd say I'm a star?
Oh, darling, you'll always be a star to me.
Thank you!
Lula May does not quite get the importance of that, but knows that it's important enough to Amanda.
All right. Well then, given all of that's happened, if you're wanting to send everybody off towards another potential vault location, you still have several options to choose from on your maps. I'm trying to remember what all the other options were now. I know there was the dog one that you've already been to.
There was the minefield was one, and the minefield is narratively close.
That is true. There is one on the other side of that minefield. I feel like there'd also be one like behind a waterfall or something like that, up in the mountains somewhere close by. That feels like one of the ones that I had planned out.
It is unfair of us to be asking about session 1 things at this point.
And we'll say that another one is in the ice biome. We'll call it. It's out in the snowy region. So which one would you like to go towards?
My vote is Mountain Waterfall.
Yeah, I'm going not minefield.
That's usually a good choice, yeah.
I vote the minefield.
I would have reasons against that.
Mines are easy to find. You just send the Teds out.
That wouldn't be very liked. I've learned from personal experience. It's not very good.
We should,
also, that's why you were like burnt to a crisp when I found you.
Yes, that's part of it.
I mean, Teds have definitely historically filled the role of minesweepers. But if we have to go to more than one of these places, it might be best to save that one for last.
I mean, honestly,
So
with like all the
Teds
weird
left.
magic bullshit you do, couldn't you just like vigorously shake the ground and have them all go off at once?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'd be game for that.
We just not with the minefield and blowing up the mines.
Minefield is pretty close. I mean, we could always swing by on our way back. And Lula May is like kind of pacing, but trying to make it look like she's not pacing.
We could also, if there was a good time to go to the snow, it might be while everyone is so jacked up on Hoffy that they can't tell how cold it is.
I mean, for a culture that is predicated on our lack of proper clothing choice, do you really think that that's best?
I mean, we need to go to it eventually, right? And sleeves are never going to be an option.
Lula May kind of nods, but is like clearly
do,
like
do
not.
ponchos count as sleeves?
No.
There you go. Put them in ponchos.
I mean, do we really want to be responsible for the poncho coming back? I mean, there's a limit.
What's wrong with ponchos?
Yeah, what's wrong with ponchos?
I don't really want to get into a fashion conversation right now.
This feels very personal.
Yeah, like, because aren't they functional and stylish?
Lula May just kind of like smiles and like, is it so? It's still nighttime, yeah.
Yeah.
She's kind of just like pacing, like looking out the window.
Al's gonna go over and like just push Lula May slightly with a finger to see if she falls over.
Lula May like looks over, but like in the way that like part of her brain is acknowledging that a thing happened, but like she's not really focused on it.
Hey, remember what I had to go and do to sleep Saya? I don't have that problem. I recognize that you flesh bags need sleep. You should sleep.
Darling, I'll be fine. I appreciate your concern.
You didn't even like try to stop me.
I mean, would you
You
like me
should
to?
sleep.
Who would want to stop you, Al? Like, who could?
Most people do not like it when I poke them.
Yes, but could they stop you?
No, but it's the attempt to stop me that is the actual test.
I
She
could
didn't
stop
even
you.
try.
While they're having their conversation, Lula May's gonna take her Hoffy cup and go like I imagine there's like a porch area, and she's gonna go like sit on the porch and light up a cigarette
Okay.
that she 100% stole from Al, who stole them from someone.
Al has like a whole case of cigarettes at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Still.
Yeah, as
Maybe-
you go out onto. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Wesley.
No, go ahead. Do the balcony.
Okay, so as you go out onto the balcony, it's a nice, warm evening. It's pleasantly warm, not too hot, not too cold. A slight breeze, sort of overcast. There's a little bit of moonlight coming through that sort of highlights lighter spots out in the desert around the compound. And as you're just sitting there, enjoying the cigarette and the view and everything, hear that music again, just real quiet. It seems to be going from one side of the outside of the compound to the other real slowly. But you don't really see your truck anywhere. You hear the music. The Lula May lemonade jingle.
Lula May like nods and continues drinking her.
Once Al shakes
Coffee and a
off
cigarette.
at Amanda, she's actually gonna head outside and light up a cigarette and stand next to Lula May and be like, these idiots need you to be in like top shape.
Yes, I suppose they do.
Which means you probably shouldn't be drinking any more of that coffee bullshit.
She sort of shrugs and smirks and like sets it down on the thing next to her and keeps like smoking, looking out, listening to the song.
When she's running out of cigarettes, Al actually passes her like another one.
Yeah.
Al's just like holding the cigarettes to her faceplate as she smokes her own.
Yeah.
I should say that Al can hear this music too, by the way.
It's like, so, what's with the fucking ghost jingle bullshit?
Al, perhaps this may be.
Because I like turned that off. when I found it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because it was fucking creepy.
Well, I mean, it used to be um Pete's pasta, pierogies, and Peroni mobile. I mean, it was an alliterative. It was a moment of
What
alliterative,
the hell kind of business?
but it was not what I would call. It was an odd combination and really a flawed business model. But you can only retcon something so far to go from talking about, you know, um, imported beer and potato dumplings to lemonade. I mean, there's only so much you can do to like smash that together. But we did the best we could. It was early in our development process. But
I wasn't referring to the jingle. The jingle's just fine. It's the fact that it's all warped and weird and shit.
well, it wasn't exactly when you win a vehicle in a poker game, Al, it's not exactly pickings might be a little slim.
So what are we gonna do about your ghost?
Well, Al, I'll tell you, this is one of those times where perhaps my hubris has gone the better of me, and I will do as I have done since the day I buried Big Daddy Jessup. And I
Who's
guess
Big
I'll
Daddy
just have
Jessup?
to find my way out of it.
Well, if you want, I'll help you.
Well, I mean, it wasn't fair of me to get you all into my personal mess, but
Oh, fuck
if it
it.
comes to that, I certainly will take you up on your generous offer. And like you can tell that like she's not like mad, but like this is where like Lula May's pride
It's like,
is coming
Lula
in.
May.
Like she did this and she doesn't really want to make it everybody else's problem.
You upgraded me. The only other person who's ever upgraded me has been like this lady I know in town. That's who I dropped Suicide with, and my sister. All right?
We all got to do what we can, but
Exactly. So I'm gonna do what I can to help you out with your ghost problem.
I appreciate that. I don't know, perhaps.
But first, you gotta go and get yourself some fucking sleep.
You're
All
right.
right?
You're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right. Daddy used to
Damn
say
right.
it all the time about himself, but we'll get to that later. She sort of like dumps the Hoffy out, and I imagine like a couple of Teds like rats on a pizza crust, like a couple of Teds like sneak out and try and like get it as it falls. And she kind of smiles at Al and says, Thank you, Al. It isn't often I need to be talked off a ledge, but it is a joy when it does happen. And she's gonna kind of like look out in the direction of the music and go in and go off to bed.
Al's gonna go and try and find where the fucking music's coming from and shoot it.
Okay, awesome. Give me a sight roll as you're looking for this thing. So I kind of imagine you're looking from like high vantage points within the
Yeah,
compound.
she's basically going out onto the outer walls of the compound and walking around, following the sound until she can find it.
Okay, yeah. So as you're walking around, you do see there are other Teds that are keeping their normal watch, and they do seem to hear the music, but they don't really see anything. But as you are looking around, you see a faint purple outline of a lemonade truck, just sort of driving circles, or I guess semicircles back and forth around the part of the compound that's accessible by truck. And that's where the sound's coming from.
Right.
It's literally looks like a faint purple ghost truck.
Al's gonna plug in her her sniper rifle and try out a new thing that Lila May's been helping her out with figuring out.
Okay.
I'm gonna curve the rail to aim for where the driver should be in that truck.
Okay. Roll magical engineering. That's what it was. I was like, we had a thing for this. What was
15.
it? 15. Okay. Um, your opponent, well, we'll say, is not making any effort to actually hide, so that is successful. You are able to get that attack off.
Okay, and so I just roll my sniper rifle.
Yep. Just roll your attack roll for your sniper rifle.
15.
15. Okay. Yeah. As you do this, I'll let you describe the flavor of the charge up noises and everything as you like. But
Well, when Al's used the last shot before, it kind of has this sort of building quietness to it. It's just like everything builds up and then just like a beam of just like pure light sort of thing through every. This one's different. This one crackles like in big arcs out of her and around her, sort of thing, like hitting and grounding into the ground. And the beam itself does not go straight; it zigzags.
okay. I'm imagining like a lightning bolt.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, that absolutely happens, and it hits exactly where you wanted it to hit. And as it goes through this sort of ghost windshield towards where the driver should be sitting, it just goes straight through the entire sort of apparition and strikes the ground. There's a boom from it hitting, and the air compression and all that jazz. Dust gets kicked up. Some of the dirt gets turned to glass where it hits. And the apparition just keeps moving forward, but it just slowly dissipates into just purple smoke and fades away. And the music gets quieter and quieter and quieter until it's gone.
All right, I guess I killed it. Al's going back in to go and to go and play with molasses some more.
All right. What's up, Michael?
Before they go to bed, Amanda's gonna go to Jeb and go, "Hey, do you mind helping me here? Because I know you know the integration of magic and mechanics a little better than me. Do you mind helping me with a thing?"
You're talking to Jeb, right?
Yes, Jeb. Sam.
Hey, yeah. What's up?
Well, the mech, I think, like, right now I got to the skeleton part. So the next step is probably to figure out how to have magic to work with the skeleton of the mech. Because then we could potentially have it where, MJ could help me out later on with, like, the mechanics so we could, like, have a combined thing later on. But, like, right now we would need the magic thing, and I would probably need your help to do the magic thing, work that with the technology part.
Wait, have you seen Jeb do magic yet?
No, she just knows because of your connection to the sleep saliva that you would know, because you seem to always know more about the magic of this area. It's very much just because of your connection with sleep saliva and that religion.
I don't know. You don't generally you don't generally ask the Teds to do magic. It's either their magic is ha ha ha, watch me pull a snake out of my pants. It's not a snake usually though. Once it was, that was funny. It bit him. But usually it's not real magic. Or if they like, well, there used to be a few. but they said, "Hey, watch this," too many times, and we don't watch them anymore. Because watching skeletons decompose is creepy.
Yeah, but it's funny. But the thing is that you're the prophet of Wesley, if I understand correctly, right?
Oh no! I'm not. No, I'm basically Wesley's coffee boy. That's
Oh,
all.
the, again, I'm not great with the terms, but maybe coffee boy in sleeveless white, but in the Order of the Pisces, like you would having that connection with Wesley, you probably have picked up a lot of their knowledge. And if Wesley could probably do miracles, maybe you would know a lot on the magic too, because you are there. Like that's a prophet, and there's the Messiah.
Uh, uh, uh,
Well, you seem to be really great, and even if like you consider yourself to be
that's
dead,
that's a good joke. I appreciate it. It's good. That's
no,
funny.
I'm serious. Like you seem like if anyone else might be a Ted, you're better than Ted. Okay, you're a Jeb.
That's only because I'm not ready to be a Ted yet. That's what they tell me.
I think it's more because you're above a Ted, but again, you're Wesley's. That's the Messiah. You're the prophet of Wesley, so you probably know how to help out with like a lot of this magical thing. Maybe it might be like with me and a lot of technology where I can't figure out the actual logic of a thing, but it's kind of like in the back of the head, just like working in.
No, I
You
see.
can figure
I
it.
can't. I can't do magic. I
Oh,
can
come
fix
on!
things.
Like
I can fix
again,
things. But that's
yeah,
all.
and I
That's
think
it.
you can help me here, like in understanding
I
how to.
mean,
It's
if you,
understanding the world that's around here, and you know the world around here, don't you?
I mean, I can help where I can help. If you think here is next to think here, and you want think here to not move, I can make it stick. Um, but I mean,
Uh,
like that's the only magic I can do is with a
I feel like you can do more because you are the prophet of your Messiah, are you not? Like Wesley is your Messiah, you're the prophet,
Well,
and
no,
like the people that are
technically, Sleeve
below you.
Saya is the Messiah. He's the sleeveless one that will go about and guide us to a more holy place where sleeves are unnecessary.
Are you sure? Because it seems Wesley, you like that seems to be where the Messiah and the prophet is, and like you're the one that's doing a lot of the work to spread, like a prophet would.
And I think that Jeb is going to hold his stomach and go, "Excuse me," and run away.
All right, cool. Is there anything anybody else would like to do on this evening before we get to the next part of this? All right. Then I'd say let's fast forward to the next day. And what was the consensus on where we're going?
Oh, there wasn't one.
Okay.
I
It's not just me forgetting.
I got the sense that we had said go far away to waterfall and then hit minefield on the way back.
It's the
That
one
sounds-
one thing I was gonna propose was if MJ got the car, like the truck and the semi up and running, then maybe whichever location is most accessible by our vehicles while we still have them.
I was wondering, could she like, is there enough room in the truck for all of them to sit, or should they, or is there not?
The cabin holds 3.
Okay.
And there is a section. It's like a sleeper cab, so there is like a little like bunk bed that you could probably cram 2 more people up there, and maybe one person just sort of standing in the cab seat. So you could cram 6 people in there. Uh, so yeah, technically you could fit all of you into
Does
the cab
the
of the semi.
okay? She's not going to suggest that, but for future knowledge, does it have if it lasts that long? Does it have a hitch on the back?
um, yeah, it's currently hooked up to a standard semi trailer, which is now empty because they moved all the coffee and water and everything off of it.
Okay, just for future knowledge. Thank you.
Yeah, and if it lasts that long, it is a very appropriate comment to add on to that. Yeah, that was perfect.
Can we at least say that like MJ has the remote to the semi part of the truck? That's so that way like just MJ can press a button and the cab can disconnect easily.
uh, yeah, you can try. You want to make like a quick release for the semi trailer?
Yeah, so that way kind of like just in a moment's notice, the cab can release and just shoot on if need be.
It will be hard to do, just by the nature of how integrated the trailer is into the cab. So there's like lines that you have to disconnect and things that you have to like push up and out of the way and things like that. Um, but it is possible. Let me figure out what the DC would be for that.
So no button, are you saying?
Well, basically, you're gonna have to
So you're thinking like making
engineer
like
this.
so you're thinking like taking the wires and the hitch and everything and making it like a snap disconnect kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that way, like,
Okay.
because I feel like we'll might need to use that as a weapon or a deterrent and have the cab survive at some point.
Yeah. It'll take about. I'm trying to think. You've got the facilities there to do it. And technically, that should probably take like a couple of days. But
Well,
we'll.
MJ's got her multi-tool.
That's true. We'll just do the wave the plot wand over this and say you could do it faster. So if you can do a 45 on the DC, you can set this up and just like have it ready to go real quick.
Okay, can someone help MJ so that it's at least done with advantage? Because if someone's rolling a 45, I think we should at least try to help them roll with advantage.
Somewhere in the bathroom far away, you hear, "Oh, I really wish I could help, but ow."
And what do I roll and do I get an additional add-on because of my I'm using my magic tool?
Yeah, you can use any training that you have with your multi-tool. Add that into the roll. It's magic or mechanical engineering. You do have 5d6. We reached 5 retweets on the game tweet, by the way. So a d6 was added in.
Okay, and where do I add the +2 for the multi-tool? Is that magic or mechanical?
Yeah, we're just going to add it into the mechanical.
Okay.
So just whatever you roll for mechanical engineering, we'll add 2 to that.
From her sleep, Lula May's mind reaches out on like the girl wavelength to MJ and goes, "You can do it, MJ," which I think is going to be +1.
Here goes.
27. All right.
And
So plus
you
the
said
2 is a 29.
you said I have
plus,
a D6. That's not going to help.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with advantage, so it get at least one more roll.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, give it another try. No, that one was lower. So with Lula May's moral support from afar and everything, you get up to 30. So that's we're gonna call this a partial success. So you can set things up. I'll give you this. Either it takes a lot longer to set up, so you have to wait for a little bit, or when you do the quick disconnect, it also disconnects the brakes in the semi truck portion as well.
What do you guys say?
I would go with time. I feel like brakes are something that.
What are brakes?
Yeah, what are brakes? There's no brakes on this RP.
Okay, got your answer.
Okay, so that was 2 votes for get rid of the brakes and 1 vote for take the extra time.
All right, I hope someone out there in Twitch land clips this, because when we go careening into a wall and under some Calamity 2, we all are faced with mid-season replacement cast members.
Hey.
I just want.
That's part of the fun. That's why Amanda went through a minefield twice.
I'm just saying, I would like somebody out there to take note.
I'm just happy that my contract negotiation is finally over, so I can finally appear on camera again.
Nice.
Nice.
Hey, you guys chose this.
Yep. But hey, you know, the good thing is, like, if you're in a situation where you have to use this button, brakes are probably the last thing on your mind anyways.
Well, we could jump out of the cab, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a stick shift, so you can always, downshift to slow yourself down.
Exactly. For somebody who can't drive a stick.
Yep. I'm just gonna nod along and make it look like that's a thing I can do.
I know enough of a stick to just barely understand that.
All right.
I have no idea.
So
I don't
for
think
those that
MJ
don't-
would know how to drive either.
for those in the cast and the audience who don't know, when you're driving a manual car, so let's say you're in 5th gear and you're going 60 miles an hour, you can downshift into 4th gear and slowly let off the clutch, and the engine, because it's different sized gear, it has to work harder to keep that speed up. So if you're not pushing the gas, the engine will gradually slow the vehicle down a bit. And you can keep doing that all the way down to 1st gear to get down to probably around 5 miles an hour before you just have to hit something to stop.
Yeah, well, MJ know how to do that. I don't have a mechanical engineering score like she does.
I feel like most people native to Calamity will know how to drive stick.
Okay.
I think
Yes.
that's pretty
Like
common
most
knowledge here.
people in Calamity will know how to drive when significant parts of your car aren't working correctly.
Yeah.
Contingency planning is a big part of driver's education in Calamity.
She's also not a good
Driver's
driver.
education.
So.
That's funny.
No, you are an excellent driver.
They teach you how to do hill starts. Hill starts when you're on fire. Hill starts when you're being, in a hail of bullets. And hill starts when you're being attacked by dire dogs.
Yep, exactly. And yes, MJ is literally the best driver in this entire campaign.
Wow.
Have destroyed the fewest amount of vehicles. All right, so yeah, that's set up. You've got the truck, you've got the Jeep. You can take both vehicles if you would like. But where are you going again? Was it the snow one or the waterfall one?
I think waterfall is what we all agreed on. That's what it sounded like. Correct?
Any objections?
Nope.
Nope. All right, waterfall it is. So who's getting in what vehicle?
Amanda is following along in the mech.
Okay. So we've got Amanda in the mech. Which one is Lula May riding in?
So we're gonna have a whole bunch of Teds with us.
I think so. Yeah, I think they're going to be in the trailer. I'm guessing.
Yeah. So Lula May is going to probably see like how much space there is, and maybe if we all can't fit comfortably, she's gonna take the Jeep. But if
Okay.
everyone can fit, she's gonna just get in with MJ. Obviously in shotgun because duh.
Yeah, and the semi. There's room for 3 people to be comfortable. You can cram 6 people in there. So we've got Lula May and MJ so far in the truck. What about Al?
Can I ride on top of the semi?
If you would like.
Thank you.
Wesley.
So torn because I want to be in the car that MJ is driving because she best driver, but I also don't trust the Teds alone with the truck or with the Jeep.
That's
So I might have to get in the Jeep.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
And Jeb.
I'm gonna follow Mr. Wesley.
Okay. So we've got
Just-
Jeb and
Gonna
Sorry, what
talk
was
to
that?
him. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him and kind of do like what I just did there. I'm gonna wait till he starts to say something in the awkward silence, and then I'm gonna interrupt with kind of a weird question like, Mr. Wesley, I had a lot of coffee the other day and it made my body feel real weird. Do you know anything? Like, is that how you felt when Sleep Saya chose you, or when the anointed one, when Merc picked you to follow in his way? Is that what it?
So we're gonna.
I mean, I'm sorry. It's like I'm just a little bit nervous, kind of still talking. I thought everybody was gonna die when the rocks fell in, and we're still here, and that's great.
All right,
I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, you go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. I do want to circle back to what specifically you've been reading, because it did come to my attention in the time that we were briefly separated that there have been some revisions made to the holy text. But moving past that, now, when you say you drank coffee and you're feeling weird, is this like heart palpitations or like a digestive thing?
Yeah, that too.
It's like, do we need to see the doctor, Ted? What specifically? What changes?
Is Dr. Ted and Dennis Ted the same Ted?
I don't know.
No, I'm okay.
I mean, I will say when I met Merc, I already could do a lot of shit, like weird magic-y shit. When I traveling on this planet, finding other weird shit, definitely. I feel like it's it's different for everyone. I don't think there's a clear-cut answer there, but there are,
No, it's cool. I totally understand. I'm sorry for putting you in that weird question, that weird situation. It's fine. I understand. I'm just not chosen. It's cool. It's fine. I'm happy to do the work that I'm supposed to do here.
No, kid, let me. So again, not knowing exactly what Sleep Sai has been changing there, I wouldn't say that Merc chose me so much as we were both in the same bar at the same time when shit went down. So it's not a chosen thing. Like, if you can do cool shit, like, it doesn't matter if I said you have to be the one to do it. What cool shit can you do? Don't worry about if it's appropriate for a Jeb or a Ted. What is it?
We're an amethyst platypus.
I don't know. I can. I like to grow tulips, and I can play banjo.
Okay, I like that. That's all good. And that's new from the time of drinking the coffee?
No.
All right, what were we seeing there?
I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to bother you. Don't forget about it. It's great. It's.
Okay, new Jeb rule. You are not allowed to apologize unless given explicit permission. And you're not allowed to apologize for being Jeb.
I don't know what to say.
Right, so here's the thing. You don't. The compound it seems to have formed its own organic hierarchy that is a thing that you've been sucked into, and I feel like you were letting that artificially limit you, because that's not how the church was founded, on hierarchies and ladders of being able to talk to people. Like, there was Merc eating his grenades and shit. There was me phasing around and like ripping people in half with chainsaws. And then we had some other friends with lots of fire and sniper rifles. But like, it wasn't like a chain. It was a collective effort there. So don't restrict yourself based on whatever that fucking 10 metal animal ranking was. That's really like a secondary thing that it seems like the church has developed, which I don't know if that will go down in the books particularly well. That we may do away with that.
Does that mean I lose the promotion that you gave me?
No. You know what? Let's if anything, it promotes you from there. Does that help?
Yeah, Mr. Wesley, I feel a lot better.
Okay, good. Good. Let's put a pin in this, I think, and we'll revisit it when you want to talk more.
What's up, Michael?
This is where like I feel like Amanda would try on the radio to Wesley, like going, "Hey, Wesley, isn't Jeb your prophet?"
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm into that kind of label. Like, I was a prophet, and now I'm a something, and Jeb is definitely right up in line under there. I don't know if there's a title for it yet.
So you're not a messiah in your religion?
Well, see, the current messiah is kind of shit the bed, so I don't know if I want the negative connotations of that title now associated with me. I might have to come up with something better than that.
Go with the fabled one. That's a favorite one.
Maybe. But I feel like the fabled one is someone you search for, and I was kind of there at the beginning. Well, you know, Lula May, she will. I'm sure she's got some focus groups of TED that we can pitch this to. That seems like the kind of thing she'd have prepared.
Yeah,
but yeah, Jeb is definitely up there with position name TBA.
Okay, but you taught him to do the same magic-y things, right?
Oh God, no! I've never taught anyone magic ever.
Okay.
I don't know. Is that something you can teach? That is news to me if that's the case.
I thought that's what you did. Jeb said
No.
otherwise to me, or I had inferred that, so that's why I was confirming. Thank you.
We can try and teach it, but like when I learned magic, it was like me walking through walls or not getting stabbed when people tried to stab me. And I feel like if that's not something that can be taught, then someone's just gonna get stabbed.
Yeah, that's an important lesson. That's one of the like third or fourth lessons is when all the brothers and sisters try to stab you. Like, that is a very important lesson to learn, to not get stabbed.
I feel like I need to ask, are we your first cult?
No, I have my own, the Order of the Pisces. I'm just helping you along the way because I'm hoping at some point I'll find the person that smells of sunflower seeds.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't think we had talked about the sibling stab fest before, and I feel like that's a rich vein for conversation at some point. I think we need to dig deeper into that. But I'm really bad at handling my own problems, and probably worse than other people's. And now I'm juggling two in this same conversation. And I'm gonna tag out before I screw everyone else up more.
Don't worry about it. That's why I have so many shields.
Yep.
You handled that really well, Mr. Wesley.
Thank you, Jeb.
Also, thanks so much, Nikki, for the the 5,000 guild coins to redeem a plot point. That is something that is mildly helpful or unhelpful for a character. It looks like for MJ. Do you have any suggestions for what you would like that to look like? Or I can just try to
It's
come up with
Lula May.
something.
It's the that's
Oh,
the
Lula May.
So 1, 2, yeah. I rolled a d6 for clockwise from the top left. So
I love it.
1, 2, 3, 4. And you're number 4, Lula May.
Oh boy, number 4 for what?
That I don't know yet.
Okay, I'm excited to find out.
All right. Yeah, just let me know what you would like that to be when you come up with it. Whatever is fine. All right. So to clarify, we've got Jeb and Wesley in the Jeep with some Teds. We've got MJ driving the semi with Lula May in the cab. Bunch of Teds in the trailer, and Al like sitting, I guess, on top of the semi. And Amanda in her mech that she built. And you're going towards the potential vault location that was behind a waterfall. So you're taking a road that's going to take you up through the mountains. It's a bit windy, back and forth. And I think that's a good spot for a quick break, since we're a little past our normal break time. So we're going to go on a break, about 10 minutes. Hey, Jay. So grab a drink, stretch your legs, grab a snack, whatever you need to do, and we will be back in 10 minutes, and we'll see what crazy shenanigans we get up to with this potential vault location. We'll be right back. And we're back. Hi. So yeah, you're on your little car ride, driving along the way. You can see the mushroom cloud of Hoffy has started to die down. Over off to your left is where that happened. As you're on this road, and you can see that it's sort of settled down. It's more like in Utah up near Salt Lake, we call it an inversion layer, where it's just like this thick cloud of like smog, and then like right above it is super clear. It kind of looks like that, except it's this thick coffee brown smog over this entire section of desert. And then from your vantage point, far away and a little bit elevated, you can see there's like it almost looks like somebody just spread frosting over a cake. Right above it, it's completely smooth, and above that, it's perfectly clear air. It's like it's just settled with the weight of the atmosphere, in such a way that it's created this layer. And you can see the crater of what used to be the factory from here. And it literally is just a crater. There's no building left whatsoever. As you head up along the road, it's relatively uneventful. Surprisingly so, in fact. You probably would be expecting something to jump out at you or cause you trouble, but it's actually quite uneventful. And eventually you can see the waterfall from a distance. And you can tell that you're probably going to have to park the cars at some point and start hiking, because the road doesn't go all the way up to the waterfall. The road does start to get a little bit more narrow, a little bit steeper, and it's becoming a little bit more difficult to navigate this semi-truck through all of this area. So, MJ, if I could have you roll mechanical engineering to see how well you handle the car. And we did lose Zan. He's having some computer issues, but he should be right back. So that's why all the cameras are a little wonky at the moment.
Is it mechanical engineering?
Correct.
Okay. Can you just say that I rolled a 20? I won't tell anybody.
I'd say you're currently don't have any crits, or I'd say you could try that. But no, I can't say that you rolled a 20.
Please.
MJ is asking very nicely.
It is a very, very polite ask. 16. That's not that bad. It wasn't a 1. It's okay. Yeah, as you are steering this truck, there's definitely several moments where you feel one of the wheels go off the edge of the road into the little pullover area. So it's a little bumpy, and the trailer kind of swings back and forth because, of course, Teds aren't trying to help you keep the trailer balanced. They're running around and rough housing and stuff back there. So the weight distribution is off, and you'll start fishtailing just a little bit, but you still manage to wrestle it back under control. Just whoever's behind you is probably terrified, which I think is Wesley and Jeb. But yeah, you manage to get up to the spot where you can park it without causing any damage to it or anybody else. It's just a harrowing experience for everybody. Now, Wesley, normally I'd say don't worry about a roll because you're in Jeep, but it's Wesley, so I'm gonna have you roll.
What are we having Wesley roll?
Mechanical engineering just to steer the Jeep.
Oh, is that what's happening?
I'm assuming you're the one driving.
Yeah, there's something in mechanical engineering. An 18.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You're fine. Probably rather concerned by the display ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
The truck being...
if anything, I tried to duplicate this display because MJ
What is it?
is
It's
the
like
best.
a show of dominance.
No, because MJ is the best driver we know. So if this is how you're supposed to drive on this road, that's the example I need to follow. It's a display of dominance.
I swear, it's a display of dominance. Yeah, you're able to mimic that without too much of a problem.
Listen, don't steal MJ's job, okay? She likes her job.
I'm just trying to learn. I'm learning from the master.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you imitate that quite well. Everybody's probably feeling a little car sick, but you get to the hi cat, the little parking area. You're able to park the vehicles, and you can see that there is a hiking trail that will take you up to the waterfall.
During the swerving, I bang on the roof. Knock it off.
I just love the image here because it's like you have the big trailer first swerving, then this tiny Jeep, and then this mech that's just following along.
Oh goodness! But yeah, you managed to park. You can see there is a hiking trail that will take you up to the waterfall. It looks like it's a couple miles hike though. You're not close. It's a lot of red rock, but there's some wildlife here as well. Being that there is a water source, there's a lot of sort of scrubby pine trees, and more dry environment type shrubs and bushes and things like that. But there's a lot of green because it's pretty densely packed foliage, especially for this area. And aside from that, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. So, everyone except Amanda is going up this like trail, while Amanda is in the back, following in a giant mech.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I I don't know if I should suggest, if we didn't want to walk there, we could always, if only there was some sort of magical ability that could get us from one place to another. If anyone was interested in such a thing.
I believe there's almost a collective no.
Lula May straightens up and doesn't acknowledge, doesn't sort of acknowledge, but it's kind of like that thing a cat does when you call the cat's name, but the cat doesn't turn around, but its sort of ears just sort of flit, and she just starts emphatically loading full magazines and everything in Old Bessie.
See, MJ should say that she wants to, walk, but she has this thing where she has to lie. So she's gonna say, "Yeah, sure, let's take the other way, the magic way."
Lume is gonna look up at MJ like you do when you're out with your girl and a guy comes up and it's like, "Is this seat taken?" And you want your friend to say no, and you want your friend to say yes, it's taken, and your friend says, "Oh my God, no, sit down." So she's looking at her like,
yeah, I think Amanda is following
loading the gun,
doing the same thing, but just had the yo-yo just popping out of them.
I'll see you folks when you get up there, and I'll just start walking.
All right, so MJ has said magic. Wesley has said magic. Amanda, what was your decision on this?
I'm walking in a mech. It's just much like Lula May would load a shotgun cells. Amanda would be just having yo-yos going out, just ready, just to strike him out at a point. So in the mech.
Okay, so Amanda, Lula, May, and Al are walking. MJ, Wesley, and I'm gonna assume Jeb, because Jeb tends to follow Wesley, are going to try to teleport.
I
Is
mean,
the
I just wanted to offer if I'm happy to try. We don't have to do it, but it seems like there's some interest.
Oh yeah, I love
Absolutely.
magic all the time.
You could split the party. Yeah, that's a thing that you can do.
Yeah, I mean, MJ has not steered me wrong before.
MJ has never steered anything wrong as the best driver.
That's true.
All I
That
can
is-
picture is just 40-year-old man taking the well thought out advice of a 15-year-old. Or however young Nikki is. Like this old 40-year-old just being like, oh yeah, the kid's got good ideas.
Well, Wesley's also not that old. He's a younger burnout than that.
He comes out like a 40-year-old.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
fair.
Yeah, if MJ didn't have this lying thing, she's gonna keep going with it.
Yeah, if MJ doesn't say otherwise, I think she's really excited.
She's just gonna keep going with this lie.
Yeah, like he offered it a bit as a joke initially, but now he feels obligated. Like if he backs down, it's not going to look good in front of the tents.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, let's. Ooh. Everybody that wants to teleport, get on close.
Definitely, let's teleport.
I feel like maybe experimental Ted joins in.
Questionable choices,
all right.
Ted.
Questionable choices, Ted. I love that.
That's most
Problematic
of the tents.
decision-making process, Ted.
Oh my goodness. All right. I got everybody's video frames fixed now. Hopefully Zan can get back to us soon. Okay, so yeah, Amanda, Lula May, Al, you're heading up the trail. Amanda, you're fine for now, but you can tell up ahead the trail does start to narrow. You might have a little bit of trouble with the mech before the end.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, it's a mountain. It would just be much like if someone having to walk awkward then. Because, like I imagine, it's still a mountain they're climbing up, right?
Well, it's like a trail.
Yeah, but and also
And
if it's
there's-
like heavily wooded and stuff, look up
Yeah, that would
Goldstream
require
Park.
a roll.
Go look up Goldstream Park hiking trails.
Yeah.
It's real dense and it's actually real hard to get anything bigger than about a human in there.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
like I can imagine, like, yeah, Amanda might be able to and might not. It just would require a roll for a good bit. Because otherwise, just fall out on your and then possibly getting hurt.
Yeah, there definitely will be a roll at some point for it. So for Wesley, Jeb, and MJ,
So we
Are you-
successfully teleport, right?
let's find out. Roll magic engineering.
Oh, why do we need to bring the dice into this?
And are you
Oh.
trying to teleport to the waterfall, or are you trying to teleport somewhere else, like near the waterfall?
Not the top of the waterfall.
Well, no,
I feel
no,
like
like
I feel like that's something that could be like surprise.
let me put it this way: are you trying to get to the end destination all in one go, or are you just trying to like teleport part of the way there?
Oh no! If we're gonna teleport, we're going straight there. We're taking the
Okay.
express lane straight there. We're not making stops.
All right, let's do this then.
Now I forget because it's been a while since I used my magic rocks. Do those give advantage to this? How would that maybe help this succeed?
As I said, his thing he should have gotten was a soother made out of his magic rocks.
Yeah. How did I have you do this before? I
I
think
feel like
it's,
I've only done it once, so I'm not quite
yeah.
sure.
I'm trying to remember what we did last time. I think it was that you it lowered the DC a bit so that it was even like
easier, and then
possible?
had to. Sorry.
Okay. This feels like the perfect reason to crunch up some of my pop rocks and go ahead and get some magic juice.
All right, we'll lower the DC a bit then. So target number is going to be 45.
Jesus. Yep, that's what it was last time. Which, pretty sure math-wise, I can only hit with a nat 20.
You know what? I've seen it happen. I believe in you.
5% chance.
Nope. So, hear me out. Should we add a d6 just to make this less bad?
Go
To
for
at least
it.
get us above a 25.
Hey, they're there to be
No.
used.
I mean that now you're the one who's an expert here. I defer to your expert opinion.
We could hit 30, maybe.
Yeah.
At the least, it
possible.
would be slightly less bad. Maybe even more less bad.
Go for it.
With how we spend these, I feel like this is an okay use of
Yeah.
Okay, no, just 26.
You've got 5 right now, so that still got you like another step higher, though. You hit that 25 DC line.
Oh, Xana's
And,
back.
we got Xan back.
Just in time to be like spliced into something as I teleport us.
Hey, welcome back, Xan. Roll a new character. No, I'm kidding. But I will say this. Let's you can decide, Xan, if you were on board with this teleporting idea. I assumed you would be because that's where Wesley's going, and that tends to be where Jeb goes. But Wesley has decided to teleport himself, MJ, and you to the waterfall, which is a couple of miles away. Do you want to be a part of that, or do you want to hike with Amanda, Lulame, and Al? You might be muted.
Zan, we're not hearing anything on our end. Just as a flavor, could it be that Ted Square gets it far worse than whatever actually happens? So that way we can at least find out how bad it could have been.
Sure. I will have one of the.
Head squared, get squared.
I'll describe what happens to one of the Teds.
Do they stay here? Are they gonna stay here, or are they gonna end up somewhere?
I assume the Teds are hiking.
No, I meant like Wesley. Do they teleport somewhere, or does it just not work?
Oh well, I was waiting for Xan, so we can find out if is Jeb gonna teleport with them or hike.
Which one's Wesley doing?
Wesley is doing the teleporting.
Teleporting.
After excusing himself behind a nearby rock for just a moment, then yes, Jeb will join.
We did roll already, and it did not go well.
We did what?
We rolled already, and it did not go great.
Nope. Let me just fix this video frame here real quick. So
sorry about that.
Xan
Tech
in.
issues.
No worries. I completely understand.
Old laptops. What can you do?
You usually swear at them and get frustrated.
Yep.
There we go. Okay. So, with a grand total of 26 with a 55 DC, and your face. This purple cloud just starts swirling around all of you, and Wesley, you feel like this is going well. This is how it started last time. You feel great after popping the pop rocks as we're calling them. Brownie is playing some like classic rock on your shoulder and doing the like, horn hand gesture and head banging and things like that. You're pretty sure like this is fanfare for you. And then there's Ted, your ghost Ted on your other shoulder. That's like, oh, you done fucked up. And you feel that cloud start to get a little bit more stormy and tumultuous, and definitely becoming unstable. What are you thinking right now?
I'm thinking, God damn it, Ted, even in death, you fuck up my magic. This is your fault. I will not take the blame for any of this. And as soon as I get a goddamn good exorcist, you are going to be out of my life so quick.
Okay. MJ, what's going through your mind right now?
I really wish I had not lied and said I wanted to use magic. I wish I was walking. Why do I always have to lie?
Poor MJ has like an existential crisis mid-teleport.
Right. Jeb, what's going through your mind? You can definitely tell this is not going right.
I'm really happy I went to the bathroom before we teleported, at least.
Okay.
Otherwise,
I do have one idea here. Does it feel like this storm is kind of taking on a life of its own? Like I wouldn't be able to just cancel it?
Very much so, yeah.
If that's the case, if we can't fix one problem, if magic doesn't fix that problem, maybe more magic will. Which is, what if I tried to expand my phasing ability to all three of us and pull us out of the storm?
I mean, technically, the spell's already gone off.
Mm-hmm.
But I like this idea.
Oh, no, that's fair.
And I love the idea of like doubling down.
Yeah.
So sure, I'll allow it.
How could making everybody intangible make it worse?
I just leveled my character up 4 levels before this session, and you're gonna kill me right now, Pat. Right now, really.
Da, 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 da. Hey!
Now, do I need... Am I still riding my magic rock boost, or do I need to take a few more?
I should probably take more.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that was the answer I was gonna get. Yeah, I will. Seeing shit go down and chiding Ted Sr., I will essentially reach into my other pocket, kind of phase my hand through those rocks to absorb them, and then just try and grab Jeb and MJ and pull us backwards.
All right, roll magic engineering.
This is what I'm supposed to be good at. Sure is what I'm supposed to be good at.
That's a spicy meatball there.
Just loving these 5s and 6s. That's what I'm loving.
So the it has an interesting effect.
Do tell.
The teleport seems to stop. The storm starts having these purple like arcs of electricity that go back and forth in this circle around you, and it seems to like short out. Ooh. We had a Busta Rhyme redeemed for Zan. This magical burst has a strange effect on Jebediah. I will get the clock ready for that. So that is, I think, 3 minutes.
Before we start, I have this is just a technicality question. Does rhyme with
I don't think so.
Are we saying that those rhyme, or are we saying that they don't? Because that's kind of it's going to be kind of important to this. I feel.
I don't think that counts.
Oh well, shit.
Before we get to that, yeah, the electricity looking things like arc around, and it starts to short circuit out this teleportation spell. Jeb gets struck by one of these bolts, and we'll find out in a little bit that he starts talking kind of funny. But then the whole spell just sort of explodes, and instead of the three of you feeling hurt, you don't take any damage. You're probably all cringing like, oh, well, this is it, I'm dead. But don't feel anything. It just sort of passes right through you. And Amanda, Lula May, and Al, if you're watching this or if you look back at this moment, you see Wesley, Jebediah, and MJ disappear. Whereas Wesley, Jebediah, and MJ, seems like nothing happened. You're just all standing there.
Well,
Oh, I guess that worked.
Clearly that vault is warded against my magics and would not allow us to approach in this way.
Okay, it happens sometimes.
It's okay, Mr. Wesley. You tried your bestly.
Thank you. You two are so supportive, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm totally supportive. I'm so glad we tried this.
I don't know if I would go that far. I kind of still wish we were in the car.
It is a nice vehicle, isn't it?
I gotta say, I can't speak for Jeb, but the showboating in the truck with those sick wheelies you were doing was very impressive.
Oh yeah, I used to be a stunt driver.
It shows.
Oh yeah, I can speak for Jeb, and don't let it go to your head, and it was really great, and the clutch move rhymes with everything, except
You've got.
We should go stunt drive it again sometime, Wesley.
Yeah, I did my best to keep up, but I'm not the professional. I don't have the driver cards. I had lots of awards for what I did, my driving.
Life has been pretty scary since I've been born. What are we gonna go do about that storm?
I mean, the storm I'm sure it's like one of those self-resolving magic storms.
No, thunderbolts and lightning is very, very frightening. Me.
Oh,
Are you writing poetry?
Too much coffee. Been feeling naughty.
Yeah, maybe cut down on that a little bit. I could drink all the coffee I want.
Must be nice, but I'm busy eating rice.
That's 45
That made no
seconds
sense.
Oh my god.
Hey, maybe you should write this logo for my new company.
Oh.
Yeah, you're my logo writer.
I'm not feeling inspired anymore. No, that's okay. I thank you. That was fun. Thank you for indulging in my whimsy. That was pleasant. And now I'm back to being scared about that storm that's still gonna kill us.
I think that was a nice distraction away from this vault's safety features, which thwarted us. It was a real pick me up, and I appreciate the rhyming.
I was rhyming.
You did a great job.
I wasn't trying to rhyme.
You really helped us feel better about the situation, which is just fine because we are great.
Yeah, it's worst case Worst case scenario, it didn't work, so we just have to walk like everyone else is.
Everyone is being really positive, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little bit nervous.
See, this is
Can
what
we
this is.
hear them?
No.
Lula May, what's your over under that any of them will come back?
Oh, darling, I'm gonna tell you a little something about Lula May, Amanda. I have made my fair share of bad wagers, a game of cards or dice, or that little game people set up on a street corner where you have to figure out where they hid the little ball under the cups. So if
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
think of
take
it.
a bet, sweetheart, that tells you it's probably a real bad bet.
Al? Over under. Do you think they'll come back?
Don't know. Don't really care.
Okay, then onward we go.
Brutal. Okay, so yeah, Amanda, Lula May, Al, you're continuing to walk. The rest of you, are you trying to catch up with them?
I mean, I'm walking at a casual pace. I'm maybe the only concerning thing is just that Lula May is not bragging that we are clearly still here. It's like, oh, did that not work?
How far
type
are we
thing.
from them?
A stone's throw away, I'd say. You could easily talk to each other at this distance.
So I can say, hey, Lula May. Like,
Lula May hears nothing.
can we hear them?
Yeah, you can hear them.
Oh yeah,
Are there-
ignoring us, real mature.
So, Al, do you think like it would be a good idea or a bad idea to try to build a spot on this mech for you to shoot from?
I'm not touching your knockoff robot.
Well, again, it's still in development phase.
You are riding around in somebody's corpse. That's what it looks like.
Well, again, it's not finished. Like, hopefully,
I'm sorry. It's gonna make me feel even better when you give it a proper AI and a cover, and then suddenly you are riding around like a brain parasite.
Well, isn't that what I am already? Am I not already a brain parasite?
Now.
The
Wow.
important
Okay, I
questions.
did not say that.
Are there any rocks nearby?
There are.
Can I pick up one and like just throw it towards the group that's ignoring us?
Yeah, as you go to pick up the rock, your hand passes right through it.
We're dead.
Mr. Wesley, did you shuffle off our mortal coil?
I don't think I know how to do that yet, so probably not.
Did you do that a lot with the chainsaw, Mr. Wesley?
Oh yeah, I mean like with your classic like cutting and blades, sure.
I'm
think
really
I've done-
impressed that you've gotten stronger, Mr. Wesley, but I
And-
wasn't really hoping to be a volunteer.
Hey, if we're dead, let's see if we could run through them.
I mean, being ghost isn't the same as being dead. I've been sort of a ghost lots of times.
So can we run through them? Can we play pranks on them?
Yes, he says.
Around that time, Ghost Ted looks at you, Wesley, and goes, "Ha! You did magic so bad that you died."
And can the other ghosts see Ghost Ted out of curiosity?
Nope.
Okay. Just Russian nesting dolls of ghosts.
Ghost
Um,
delusions, little column A, little column B.
And remember, like, out of character, you took no damage. You're not technically dead, so
Yeah. Yeah.
So can MJ
don't
go
worry too
run
much.
through the crowd because that's what she wants to do. She thinks she's dead, so she's gonna like try to be a ghost.
So, the 2 plot points redeemed so the other ghosts can see each other. So, they're not technically ghosts. So,
I just
they
find it
just-
very funny if this is how they can actually see Brownie and Ted on Wesley's shoulder right now.
Brownie
they
and Ted are
can't see-
figments of Wesley's brain.
Yeah,
they are
they
floating
can't
pieces
see-
of cheese.
they can't see Brownie or Ted. But I will say this, Jeb and MJ, you do start to see some kind of odd things. Just weird shapes and creatures that sort of blink in and out of existence for you for a little bit, for about 5 to 10 minutes, as you're having some sort of after effects from this dark lyridium sort of exploding magical energy through you.
I assure you,
Um,
Jeb is terrified of each and every single strange thing that he sees, and screeches accordingly.
Fantastic.
MJ's having the
Um,
best time. She's pretending like she's a ghost and making faces at people.
So you said you wanted to like try to run through people, right?
yeah.
Who do you try that on first?
Um. hmm. She's gonna try to run through Amanda.
Okay. As you do so, Amanda, you suddenly feel very cold for a few seconds.
Okay. I think we're near the waterfall. I'm starting to feel a bit of a chill.
Inside your giant mech suit.
Do you try it with anybody else?
Yes, she's gonna try and get through one of them at least once.
Okay.
Even Al.
All right. So Lula May, when this happens, you also feel cold and have that sort of proverbial feeling of somebody walking on your grave.
So Lula May stiffens, and she's wondering, if this has something to do with Tim.
Okay.
So she's like not gonna say anything, but she's just gonna kind of look like unsettled
Okay.
and like shake it off.
It's funny that you should say that. We'll touch on that in a second. Al, I don't think Al can feel cold or heat, can they?
They can sense it, but they can't necessarily. They don't feel it, and they don't have. They don't feel things the same way humans feel things.
Right.
It's more they're aware of things. They're aware if they're touching something, but they don't necessarily feel it.
Okay.
It's ones and zeros.
Gotcha. So like your temperature settings don't change, but you do feel sort of a like, excuse me, like a power surge, a little bit. Not enough to damage anything,
weird.
but it's just like probably tingly.
This is when she stops, and she's going to take a good look around because she's thinking it's some sort of like defense device.
Yeah, you don't see anything weird. Everything looks normal, which is odd. Though at that moment, you do start to hear that Lula May
Oh,
Lemonade
son of
jingle
a bitch! It's
sound
back again. It's like,
you. Go ahead, sorry.
yep. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, so you hear it, and then Amanda, and then Lula May, you start hearing it as well. And then Jeb, Wesley, and MJ, you start hearing it pretty loud. Do you turn to look at where it's coming from?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
No, I'm going to watch Wesley's face.
Okay.
I'm
and
going to look after I make sure I run through everybody and make faces at them.
Okay, yeah, you're definitely able to do that before this happens. So MJ and Wesley, you'll look back to where that sound's coming from, and whereas Amanda, Lulame, and Al, you don't see anything. You, Wesley, and MJ see Lulame's lemonade truck, and it looks tangible and physical, but it's also got sort of this like purple misty sheen to it. And leaning against it is like a two-faced version of Tim Rackett. Um, so he's got like burns on one side, uh, his sleeve is burned off on that side, and the other side is normal with the sleeve. And he looks really angry and menacing. Um, I
And
think that's
sorry, the van is parked and not barreling down on us. Just for clarification.
yeah. It's just like pulled over to the side of the road next to your cars, and Tim is just staring at you all menacingly. And that's where we're gonna end the session. um, so yeah, that was fun. We're gonna go on our raid here in just a couple of minutes. But before we do, I want to let everybody talk about their favorite part, where we can find them online, and all that good stuff. So we'll start with Michael. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you? And anything else you'd like to share?
Yes, I'm Michael Wayne on Twitter and Twitch. You give me a clip, I'll give you a GIF. My favorite part would have to be just the fact that MJ was lying, and because they did not like it. It was just because they lied. It was the whole reason they thought this was a bad idea, but lied anyway. And had to just, for the bit, it was so good of a bit, and MJ every time has forced to lie has been a great moment, even when Sassy Ted died, like every time. Just like top notch. I loved like the little bit that's starting to come in Jeb and Wesley, especially the point when Jeb got to go fast spell, and do love how like MJ is just very much more in the background. I'll be okay, I'm just gonna load up these bullets. Nothing wrong at all. It's all fine. Just so brilliant. You can find me Wednesdays on the Bardic Nox channel for Digimon/Clash. Most part, I'm just about looking for a game. One day I'll play a game with you, hopefully. Remember, we're all in this together. I'm rooting for you.
Awesome, thanks. That was fantastic. And then next, I see Historian. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you? And anything else you want to share?
Oh man, this is really hard. My favorite part, I also have to say MJ's lying about like trying to like having this compulsion and then being like, why do I have to do this? I thought that was great. I also love anytime you could see Jeb, it's always like a great time. And the idea that Lula May is gonna get some comeuppance, I feel like it's high time that her machinations, to some degree, have some consequence, which it appears as though they're about to. So yeah, you can find me basically here on Tuesdays. I'm on Twitter and anywhere anyone else has let their security lapse, I tend to show up. So yeah, maybe we'll hang out some other time.
Awesome. Next, we'll toss it on over to Alex. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you? And anything else you want to share?
Fucking MJ. MJ just lying, and you could see like her panic as she's like, oh yeah, sure, I'm doing this. Oh god, what the fuck am I doing? Please stop. Oh god, Mouse, please stop. Mouse is writing checks that your ass cannot cash.
Yeah.
You can find me around on Patrick's channel tomorrow, hopefully for Lancer, if all goes well. If not, you can find me back here on Saturday with Animus Absentus. And I am regularly scheduled on Mondays on my own channel for art streaming. So yeah, check out Can Chaos Art.
Awesome. Next, we'll hop on up to Pat. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you? And anything else you want to share?
Ooh, my favorite part was just having everyone back for a session too. And getting some Jeb and MJ time, since I haven't got to interact with MJ a whole lot as Wesley yet. So I love that this is our little side trip now. Yeah, besides here every Tuesday night, you can catch me Wednesday nights on my channel for our Lancer campaign, the Spare Brigade. Yeah, I think that's all I've got right now.
Awesome. And then next, we got the videos have swapped places, but Nikki, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you? And anything else you'd like to share?
I actually liked it. I like that the MJ lie like went completely out of control, but I like the image of all of the Teds running. Popped up on Hoppy. That just kind of stuck with me.
Awesome.
I thought that was just really funny. I am on this channel, I think it's Friday night for School Days, the mask game.
Mm-hmm. 6 p.m. Mountain Time.
At 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And every other week, I'm on the Action Fiction channel on Sunday night on a Vampire the Masquerade game called Eat the Rich. And Monday. What day was yesterday?
Yesterday was Monday, and
yesterday was Monday.
And it's Drain the Rich.
Drain the Rich. Okay, I know it's something like that.
Yeah, close enough.
Drain the Rich, and I like completely lose my brain when I'm talking. So every other Monday, I'm on the Action Fiction channel on another game, which is fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, Castle Falkenstein, but we're like having a lot of fun not doing. It was a lot of fun, but yeah. So watch me on those.
Awesome. And then last but not least, Zan. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you? So great to have you back too. And anything else you want to share?
I have finally made my triumphant return. This was great. I mean, like, after so long away, it's really hard to say I had a favorite part. It was just all so overwhelmingly positive. Just getting to be back in the group and like getting to interact with everybody and like interact with their characters, but also just have some good screen time with some good folks. So a favorite moment's pretty hard to like pin down one specific one. As far as where you can catch me next, I'll be over on Polished Cryptid channel in the very early hours of the morning on Friday, and then Saturday night I'll be running my kind of a little bit homebrewy Vampire 5th edition game over on her channel as well, called Cutting Teeth, which is a kind of a cool little Shovelheads story that y'all should definitely go and check out.
Yes, you're running a Shovelheads game. Yeah. Oh my god. So many people are afraid to do that. I've been in 2 different Shovelheads games and they were the most fun I've ever had.
No, it's delightful. 2 of the players are brand new to the system, and so
oh my god, they have no idea.
Yeah, no, I didn't let anybody pick the clan, so it was just it's a real great game. It's a really fun game. I'm real proud of it. I think I do a real good job on that one. And yeah, y'all should definitely check that out. And then I'll be back here next week. But as far as where you can find me, you can catch me over at my website, insanitygaming.com, or Twitter at insanityttrpg, where I'm over there doing content creation and professional DM things.
Awesome. Yeah. And that just leaves me, I think. So my favorite part, the whole thing was fantastic. I enjoy getting to mess with you all with Tim now with this like, ice cream truck style, music and creepy factor. It's a lot of fun. I loved MJ lying herself into a dangerous magical situation. That was also one of my favorite moments. Wesley and and Jeb interacting was great too. Not only because Wesley and Jeb, but Pat and Zan interacting together in an RPG is always a good time. Um, and yeah, all of it was just fantastic. It's hard to pick favorite parts with this campaign. um, as for where you can find me next, I'll be back here at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 9 p.m. Eastern for Exodus, which is based on or inspired by rather Bioshock. I'll be playing Niklaus Sebastian Adama, who's sort of a villainous Dr. Jekyll. I guess Dr. Jekyll's kind of villainous to begin with. I guess it depends on the version. Anyways, he's sort of a bad guy, and he's got a Mr. Hyde side that's even worse called Klaus, and he's part of the party. So it's been really interesting, because while he is a bad guy, he's not the bad guy. So it's a good time. Another great cast over there as well. Definitely come check it out. And then Friday we've got Neon Devils at noon, school days at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And then Saturday we've got Animus Absentis, of course, again at 6 p.m. So that's mostly everything that's happening over this next week. A couple other things to mention. My link tree is right there in chat. And sponsors as well are Grinding Coffee Company. Grindingcoffee.co with the code RAVVYN should get you 13% off your order. It's really good stuff. And then also Fundamental RPG. You can find the link to buy first edition, which is out on Amazon right now. And then you can also get the playtest version of second edition, which is what Hunters runs off of, at the link there in chat. That is through Patreon. So you do have to be a patron on my Patreon to get access to that. But you get access to the Google Doc, which is updated in real time. So anytime I make an adjustment or an update to the playtest, it gets put in there and you get full access to that. And then finally, Intrepid, which is my brand for in real life adventuring gear. I've got some really cool designs that I'm working on right now that should come out within the next week or so, that are going to be basically like a class designation apparel. So they're going to have things like Ranger, Rogue, Cleric, that sort of thing, with a new design on the Intrepid Raven logo. The words are hard. It makes it look like leather. So it's going to be really cool. Check out the links for that. Keep your eye out for those. I'll be talking about it on Twitter and everything as well. And I think that is everything. So we're going to go on a raid. Just make sure that they're still live. Yes. So we're going to go raid Dark Aardvark. Fantastic person. Definitely give her a follow if you're not doing so already. They're streaming some D&D. And we're going to go with our raid cry, which is, Mr. Wesley, did you shuffle off our mortal coil? And yeah, thank you all for being here and hanging out with us. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.